Come on, people now. Grab your brother, something. Let's hold hands, cause this is a song for hippies. Okay. Ready?
Side note, I like hippie chicks.
Ready? All right, we're ready. We're live right now. Ready? We're live. All right. Yo. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast. It's your boy T here. Got the Mac Attack.
The Mac Attack is back again.
Mac Attack is back again, and we got the wicked, mad smart, mad scientist, Mike.
It's kind of bright in here, in case you guys on the YouTube can tell.
It's not bright in here. My future is just super bright.
It's the trio back again, the full gang.
Wow, it feels like it has been many years.
We're at like full chub right now. Like
Yeah.
Browns, like starting running back full chub.
Like full chub.
Whoa. Full circle. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Trades, dude. You know what I mean?
for sure.
They happen.
All right, well, so we went over the morning games in the last episode. We're going to jump right into these afternoon games, the Sunday night game, and then we're going to end it with the Monday night football game. So starting off, we got the New Orleans Saints. It's at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are minus 2.5. How do you guys feel about this game? I'm thinking I kind of like the Ravens in this game. It's they're a tough team, tough defense at home. I'm kind of nervous for the Saints. I know they got that high-powered offense, but I don't know. Drew Brees outside of the dome, he does have, like, sometimes he has those home road splits, and this is, if there's one team where he's going to be on the road, he could struggle. Actually, I saw a stat the other day. Brees has beaten 31. He's beaten every single team. The only team he hasn't beaten is the Ravens. He's 0-4 in his career against the Ravens. So,
whoa, crazy stat.
Interesting stat.
Yeah.
It's
Wicked
deep. That's
tight.
balls deep.
dude, it's deep, dude.
Dude, that's so hot.
So with that being said, you guys feel comfortable starting Drew Brees if you had him?
I think so.
I mean, it's like, how do you sit him? If you have him, I mean, most people don't roster two quarterbacks. So if you have Brees, I mean, you're probably gonna throw him out there. But you feel comfortable?
Would you play Baker Mayfield over Drew Brees?
Not Baker.
Against the Bucks? Against the Bucks?
Not Baker, but I'm looking at some names. I'm gonna look at a list of names right now. I don't know. Would you do Baker personally over Brees?
That one would be tough. Like I said, he struggled on the road. Outside of the dome, like it's a grass field outside of the dome. Playing in Baltimore, that's a tough place to play. And that defense is still really good. I would just temper expectations with them, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like if Jameis was there, I would definitely start like a Jameis over him. I'd probably start like an Andy Dalton over him. Just a kind of few names. Probably maybe like a Jared Goff over him too.
Yeah, he's definitely a better home player than road. The Ravens' defense is tough too. They're second in giving up passing yards. They haven't played the best passing schedule overall of quarterbacks, but they're still a top 5 defense. It is in Baltimore, like you said, you pointed out too. He's not at home. It's in Baltimore, so it's going to make this matchup a little bit tougher. I think they might try and use the running backs a little more, try and get that ground and pound. Now that they have both the guys back with Ingram, Kamara, you might see more of that. What year are we in? 2018? The 2017 Drew Brees, where he's, 200, 250, and 2, and they try and get both these guys, 15 to 20 attempts. I think that might be, a little bit in the Saints' game plan on the road. Let's go out there. Let's ground and pound. Let's Drew Brees move the chains, and let's kind of grind out a win, because it's going to be a tough matchup for him. So, normally Drew Brees, when you start him week in and week out, he's like a top 8 play. But I think in this matchup, you got to figure he's more in like that 8 to 12 range if you're kind of ranking him for the week.
So the ceiling's just kind of capped, as we were saying.
Yeah.
It's a lower ceiling than a normal game. Inside the dome, he throw for like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns almost every week, it seems like. But, yeah, just temper expectations. That being said, the running backs, Super Camario, you're starting him every week. Ingram came back. He had a huge game before they wanted to buy. You're definitely starting him. Let's jump to the receivers. Michael Thomas, PPR machine. Breaking news, Ginn out for the year. Again. He's out for the year. So kind of opens the door maybe for one of these second receivers to kind of step up. I mean, Drew Brees, is a high-powered passing attack. So Cameron Meredith, Traquan Smith. I know I kind of talked to you about Traquan Smith a little bit in the beginning of the year. You just watched some of his college tapes, saying how good he was. So
Traquan's not as good as his brother Duquan.
Is that a triple-double joke? 3 and 2?
That was my first additive to this episode. I'm not off to a good start.
I got you, but I don't know if it was the best.
I thought of it. Yeah. Okay. Go on.
Is that why you were quiet for 10 minutes? You were thinking of that joke? You were just waiting for
you were letting it marinate, dog.
Like, second they say Traquan, Duquan is coming out.
Yeah, I should have thought about it longer. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. So for me personally, though, I feel like you could grab one of these guys. I'm not sure who it is yet. I think Cameron Meredith has been getting more run, recently. But
I got you.
I feel like Traquan Smith is the better talent. And maybe in a couple weeks, maybe after this week, it could be this week, we come out and we see Traquan Smith. He's that guy in the last game. People probably thinking, who the fuck's Traquan Smith? Traquan Smith's the guy in that Monday night game against the Redskins. He's the gut receiver who had those 2 bomb touchdowns from Breeze.
Is that when he broke the record?
That's when he broke the record. So
I just swore it was Peyton Barber, but
yeah. So
I'm looking at the snap percentages with these two. I think with these two guys, I don't think, especially in a tough matchup on the road, Michael Thomas, Kamara, Ingram, those guys are soaking up targets. I don't think you're playing either of these two guys, but I think their potential beat the waiver wire type of guys. Grab Meredith, grab Traquan, whoever you feel is going to be, maybe even grab both if you have 2 or 3 spots open, because Drew Brees can have two relevant receivers. You saw it back when it was Willie Snead and I think it was Willie Snead and Michael Thomas that year. Willie Snead was still like a top 30 receiver. So he's done it before. He's had Marcus Colston and other receivers. He's carried, 2 top 30 guys before in the past. So Traquan Smith's a rookie. Cameron Meredith, he was actually pretty good in Denver considering the quarterback play and being the only receiver there. So I kind of lean Meredith just because he's not a rookie. He's been around the league. He's showed that he can have success at a high level versus where Traquan's a rookie and he's still learning the game. Still kind of, Breeze, the coaching staff. I don't know if they want to lean on a rookie per se as a number 2, but we'll see when it comes to this week in the snaps. So, grab these guys because if you have an empty bench spot, grab them because one of them might blow up and you might not have a chance to grab them next week going into the waiver wire. So I think if you have an open spot, I wouldn't mind holding them.
Yeah, I grabbed Traquan in a couple of leagues. I'm just going to stash him for maybe a week or 2, see how check out the snaps, check out the targets in these next couple of weeks, how that works out.
Yeah,
so.
Traquan's he's actually, this is my real additive to this, is he's one of the guys that I'm looking at to stream as my wide receiver 3, just with these like crazy trades and random stuff that's going on in the league right now.
Are you going to stream his brother Duquan?
No, Duquan.
I heard he got cut.
He plays CFL, but
okay.
He's out there though.
We should start a CFL fantasy podcast.
Yeah. Not
number 1 pick, Johnny Manziel. No.
Yeah. All right. So Jinx.
Yeah.
Tight end position, Ben Watson. I think he's more of a.
Yeah, you'd have to be super desperate. I think.
I think he's
tough matchup too.
Benjamin Watson this week.
Yeah.
Can we chill with the fucking puns? It's getting out of control.
That was decent.
That one's all right, but
it was like a 7, 6.
I mean, it's better than mine, I guess. But
yeah, we gotta wait for Tyler's pun joke.
Yeah.
All right. So Saints defense, you firing them up in this matchup on the road?
Negative.
Yep, negative. Next, move on to the Ravens side.
What about me? No.
That's a no. So Ravens side, Joe Flacco. The numbers have actually been decent for Joe Flacco. I'd still start Breeze over him if I had to pick from the 2. I think you could probably find a better quarterback option than Joe Flacco this week. The Saints defense is still, I believe they're still a pretty good defense. I think they've just gotten off to a slow start. The over-under is 49, so it's decent. How do you feel about, Joe Flacco in this matchup?
Like you said, I mean, he shouldn't have too much trouble throwing on them. But like you said, there's got to be some better options there. Andy Dalton, like a Mayfield, Jameis Winston. I would stream Eli Manning over him in 100%.
I feel like him and Drew Brees might get the same numbers this weekend.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could just be in a tight matchup, like you said. Like maybe they both throw for 225 to 250 and 2 touchdowns each.
Yeah, I could see that
for sure.
So the running backs. Let's start with Alex Collins. RB2. I mean, there's not a lot of running backs who are going to get 10 plus carries. So RB2 in this matchup. I haven't looked into the toughness of the matchup. Have you?
So this is a tough matchup for them. I would actually, if you have better options, like if you have a ton of running back depth, I would probably be trying to fade, Buck Allen and Alex Collins. Actually, the Saints allow a league best it's like the lowest, 3.1 yards per carry, and they allow the lowest yards per game allowed to running backs. So if he's splitting with Alex Collins, I feel like last week Alex Collins got a lot of run because they were kind of ahead of the game. That's why Buck Allen probably didn't get too much run. But I would expect to see what we've kind of saw in the weeks in recently, where it's like a 50-50 workload. Buck Allen's getting his run, Alex Collins getting his run. But I mean, if you're going against a team now that's giving up the least amount of yards per game. That just worries me right there. Especially a team that if you can't run on them, but now here's a team where you can't run on them, but you can throw all over the Saints. I think they lean heavily on the passing game more than the running game. And I think we went over this before. Buck Allen actually was leading the team in targets and routes run out of him and Alex Collins. So I would be.
Have they played? The one thing I have is that have they played a decent run schedule, or has it been that they've kind of, been ahead against teams, or teams have been throwing on them so successfully that they haven't had to have too many rushing totals against them?
I mean, the Saints played the Bucks.
That was week one.
The Bucks. It looks like the Browns. Looks like the Falcons and Giants. So they've had a Redskins. So they've actually had some decent talented running backs there. So yeah, I agree. I think he's more of a RB2 flex type of running back. But if you need volume guaranteed, like I'm in a pinch and I'm starting him over, another running back. Trying to find a running back on the waiver wire just because I know he's going to get volume for sure. To the receiver position. It comes down to, I think all three of these guys could be an option. I think Willie Snead is actually probably a sleeper option in this matchup. And then it comes down to Crabtree or John Brown. One of them is going to see Lattimore. And I kind of believe that personally it's going to be Crabtree who sees Lattimore. So I kind of actually love John Brown in this matchup. He's a deep threat. The cornerback he's going against, if he is the one who's in fact not lining up against Lattimore, has been beaten all over the field. And one thing about John Brown is he's fast. He has the highest ADOT, which is like air yards, like in the field, which means like if I'm throwing it 2 yards, that's how far the pass went and traveled. If I'm throwing it 25 yards down the field, that's how far ADOT. That's what that stat means. And he leads the league in like air yards. So he's going to get for sure a few targets in this game deep. So there's the potential for him to break one or two maybe big passing plays in this matchup.
Yeah, I know the Saints are among the league's worst at allowing 20+ yard completions. So I would definitely be starting John Brown with confidence. Crabtree, the targets are there for him. He's getting 8 to 9 targets every single game. He's getting a lot of red zone targets. I would be nervous because he is probably going to see a lot of Marshawn Lattimore. But if you got him, probably throw him in there, flex play, low end, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 area. Like Anthony just touched on, Willie Snead could probably be the sneakiest play and the best receiver out of the bunch. Some stats on Willie Snead: 10+ PPR points in 5 of the 6 games. So he's just like super consistent. It's like he's getting like 5 for 50 every single week, it seems like. And he has the easiest wide receiver corner matchup of the 3 wide receivers. And like I just said, you can throw all over the Saints. So you need a sneaky flex play, or you got some people on a bye, injuries, whatever. See if Willie Snead's out there because like I said, especially in PPR wise, 10+ PPR points in 5 of the 6 games. Safe play right there, Willie Snead. Let's for the tight ends here, we're still kind of waiting on the emergence of Hayden Hurst. We'll see what happens there. They're just kind of use the carousel of tight ends there.
Are we ever gonna see Hayden Hurst? It's like, geez.
I think so. I think it's just they're kind of just integrating him. He's rookie. He's only played 2 games,
Yeah.
So you just keep an eye on him still. As far as this defense goes, would you start in the Ravens defense? They're coming off an 11.
Hard.
They're coming off an 11 sack performance.
Jesus, that's a lot.
Yeah.
No. If you drafted Ravens, it's so easy to stream a defense though, so probably not. No.
Yeah.
It's just Saints offense is just so good.
Yeah.
This is like the lowest over I've ever seen the Saints at in a while, and that's because of the Ravens. But yeah, I don't know.
For sure, yeah. If I have the Ravens defense, maybe not the most confident, but if you can't drop and pick up someone else, because I wouldn't drop the Ravens. I'm sure
they'll do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll do something. They won't get you negative points.
Yeah, they're not the Bears.
Yeah.
From last week. All right, let's jump into the next matchup. We got the Cowboys. They're -1 in Washington against the Redskins. Like we always say every week, Cowboys, his equal is no one, and that's it.
Yeah, I know Anthony loves Jeff Swaim.
Geoff?
Jeff, it's
Who's Jeff?
Geoff.
His name is Jeff.
Okay, it's not Geoff. But anyways, I know he likes him a lot. I'm very much to our original thing is pretty much just Ezekiel Elliott. That's it.
So, yeah. Well, I feel like after that last game they had, they smacked the Jaguars. Dak had like 80 rushing yards and a touchdown on the ground. People might, feel comfortable throwing him in there, but I think that was the first game out in the whole year that he finished as a QB1, and QB1 meaning like 12 or better. Like the numbers where he was QB1 on the week. He's been QB 20 something like majority of the weeks. He's been terrible. So some stats on Dak real quick. Just in 4 games, he's thrown the ball at least 25 times, and he's failed to throw for more than 200 yards in those games. I mean, and it's a passing league. If you've thrown the ball 25 times and you can't even get to 200 yards, that's terrible. So they have no receivers there, and I mean, it really is Zeke and everyone. Yeah, Cole Beasley had a big game last week. Just some numbers on Cole Beasley too, just so you're not running out there and grabbing him.
Which I don't think very many people are.
Yeah, but so Cole Beasley, he lines up in the slot 87% of the time. That's his bread and butter, slot guy. The Redskins allow the fewest yards, and they allow the 4th fewest fantasy points to slot receivers. So this is a terrible matchup for Cole Beasley.
Right.
So, I mean, if you went and grabbed him, I mean, some people are going to see Cole Beasley he had 2 touchdowns. So people are going to go out there and grab him, thinking I can throw him in there for sure. Just beware. I mean, like I said, they give up the fewest yards to slot receivers, and like I said, Dak's not throwing the ball a ton either. Dak's value is kind of running the ball and maybe getting a rushing touchdown. So, yeah, his equal is no one, and
that's it.
Next.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah. So
Redskins.
Alex Smith, captain checkdown. Definitely not.
No.
Yeah, the Cowboys defense is actually sneaking kind of good. They're getting Sean Lee back too, so that's a huge. I mean, that's their middle linebacker. It's like their Pro Bowl middle linebacker. They have a solid linebacking core. They drafted a rookie this year who's been playing lights out. They have Jalen Smith, I believe his name is. He was a rookie from a year or 2 ago. He was going to be a first-round pick, but then he tore his ACL, so he ended up going in like the 2nd or 3rd round.
Sounds like you're about to play the Dallas Cowboys defense right now.
I'm just saying they're pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like people don't think of the Cowboys defense being good, but they've been low-key really good. And, I mean, if you need a streaming option, the potential's there. The Redskins offense doesn't scare me. I don't think they're going to blow up for 30, 40 points. You know what I'm saying? It's a really low over-under, 41 points. So, yeah. Jumping to the running backs for the Redskins. AP coming off a 97-yard performance. You starting him or?
I mean, I have him and I'm not, but that's just because I have a better options.
He's pretty banged up right now. I know one thing I saw, I don't have the exact numbers, but it was a stat like when Sean Lee plays, the Cowboys are only giving up like 3.5 yards per carry. And when Sean Lee doesn't play, they give up like 5.5 yards per carry. So Sean Lee coming back, like I just said, that linebacking core is pretty good. That front seven's pretty good. If you have to start AP, start him. But I feel like if he doesn't fall into the end zone, he's not going to get you double-digit points here. He's not a receiving back.
Yeah, I agree. It's probably lower ceiling for AP this week.
Yeah, I would temper expectations on him. Jumping to the other running back there, Chris Thompson. So you got to monitor both of them actually because they're both game time decisions.
Yeah.
I think AP is going to play. He's just kind of banged up. But Chris Thompson, he's a game time decision too. It's like a knee, rib injury, something like that. But if Chris Thompson was playing, that would probably be the running back I would choose over the two, just for like the receiving purpose. The one area you can beat the Cowboys is pass catching running backs. That they give it up to pass catching running backs. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Thompson played and he had like 7 or 8 catches this game. So I think if he plays, he's got a safe floor. Like I said, you just got to monitor and see if he's playing or not. So jumping to the receivers for this one, I don't think any of these receivers are very good. Doxson, Crowder, Paul Richardson. I wouldn't feel comfortable starting any of those guys.
The only one I like Josh Doxson, if anybody.
Yeah, but even then,
But yeah,
they're just all trash.
Yeah,
they need to go get. Where's Des Bryant at? They need to go get him or something. I don't know.
Well, they were talking about re-signing. Didn't they talk about re-signing him like 2 weeks ago?
The Cowboys?
Yeah.
They should. They ain't got nobody.
Bro,
there's a lot of teams that don't have receivers that could use Des Bryant.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's so funny because Des Bryant's over here on Twitter like, "Oh, I'm gonna be on a team soon," and then the Cowboys are sitting there like, "Man, we need to get some receivers over here." They're like, "Dude, hey guys, fucking, figure it out, guy."
Yeah. I doubt it. I doubt he goes back to Dallas. That relationship's done.
Yeah, definitely.
So for tight ends on the Redskins here, you got Jordan Reed. I think he started off pretty hot. I don't have any Jordan Reed on any teams. I didn't want to take the risk on him. But I think he started out pretty decent in the year, but he's kind of been falling off.
They have some rapport, don't they? Alex Smith and Jordan Reed.
Yeah, but I think he's been falling off this last couple weeks, and like even Vernon Davis has been getting some run or maybe even more catches and targets than him. So, but I mean, I guess if you're going to start someone, like I said, all those receivers aren't very good. Jordan Reed, he's a freak athlete, so if you got him at tight end, you're definitely starting him. I mean, especially because there's not many tight ends that you can feel confident throwing out there. So, Redskins defense, another stream, maybe. Probably not.
I'm playing Redskins defense in a league.
Yeah, at home. I mean, like I said, so the low over under, both bad offenses, both pretty good defenses. This should.
That's why I'm playing.
Maybe like a 13-17 game watch.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's jump into the next matchup. You got the Rams are minus 9.5. The Rams are minus 9.5 in San Francisco against the 49ers.
Pretty juicy.
Pretty juicy. Over-under is 52, so they're expecting some points to be scored in this game. On the Rams side, it's pretty easy. You're starting Goff. Mm-hmm. You're starting Gurley. He's the MVP.
Obviously.
Cooks, you're starting him. Robert Woods, you're starting him.
What do you think about Josh Reynolds?
Josh Reynolds, yeah. So I was reading some stuff on him. Cooper Kupp, he's going to be out for a couple weeks with like a MCL or meniscus injury, something with the knee. He's going to be out for a couple weeks. He should be okay and come back though. I was reading something on Josh Reynolds, and they were saying that he's most likely going to line up against Richard Sherman. The majority of the snaps, and Sherman's been playing really good football.
Yeah.
So you got a receiver who's young receiver in the league. He's pretty much the fourth option if you think about it. You got Cooks, Robert Woods, and Gurley, in the pecking order, and then Josh Reynolds probably. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't feel comfortable starting him.
Yeah, I mean, he's especially lining up like that.
Yeah, and like I said, he's probably going to see a lot of Richard Sherman. I wouldn't.
Josh, he's more of a guy that you could maybe throw on your bench.
Yeah,
just with this Cooper Kupp injury, that I'm not mad at that, and he's available. He's really, really available.
Probably in like 95% of leagues.
So he's someone you could throw on your bench. But I agree, this week probably not the best week for him.
Yeah, tight ends, they ain't got no tight ends. So Rams defense, you're firing them up. You jump over to the other side of the ball, Niners. C.J. Beathard. Is it Beathard or Brethard?
I think it's Brethard. I think it's Breathard. Brethard.
Well,
maybe it's Brethard.
Brethard. Anyways, yeah. See, we should probably learn the
Just call him CJ, dog. Who gives a shit?
All right, CJ. Definitely not playing him. I think he had a pretty decent game last week, but I'm definitely not playing him.
Yeah.
I mean, against the Rams defense, no. This running back situation is kind of tricky.
See, that's why we don't really need to learn his name.
Yeah.
Because are you playing him? No.
But for the Niners, the running back situation is kind of messy. You got Breida over there. He's clearly the best running back. He wasn't going to play last week, so everyone's thinking Morris is going to get like 20 touches, all the goal line work. And he got 0 run because Breida ended up playing, and then this Raheem Mostert ended up coming in. He ended up getting 12 carries.
That fucked a lot of people.
For a lot of, yeah.
And guess who it didn't fuck? Me, because I don't have him on any league. I don't have any San Francisco anything.
That's probably smart. So, if you have Breida, you're playing him. Alfred Morris wise, I mean, you can't drop him because he is a top 10 in carries inside the 5. He has 6 carries inside the 5-yard line, and that's like top 10 in the league. Right. So you can't drop him just for that purpose of goal line back potential. I kind of just want to see how it pans out. Raheem Mostert, that's definitely a name to keep an eye on. See how much run he gets this week. I mean, if they just totally phase out Alfred Morris again this week, and it's like a 50-50 split between Mostert and Breida, then I would definitely go pick up Mostert. You should probably go pick him up now just in case he blows up. Then you can already have him on your bench. You know what I'm saying? So, but the only one comfortable I'd be starting is Breida. He's definitely got some RB2 value there. Receivers wise, I mean, I think a lot of these receivers are banged up for the Niners. I mean, pretty much it's Marquise Goodwin or not. I don't know how confident I feel. Yeah, he had the 2 touchdowns. He's got the speed. I guess you throw him out there flex play. He's like a boom or bust player in my opinion.
Goodwin?
Yeah, Marquise Goodwin. He's like a boom or bust play for me. This Rams defense is pretty good. So
yeah. Are you playing George Kittle?
Yeah, I'm definitely playing George Kittle.
Me too.
One area that the Rams aren't very good at is it's defending the tight end. So The Rams average giving up 5 receptions to the tight end. So I mean, if you're in a PPR league and they average giving up 5 receptions, you're already starting out with like a floor of 5 receptions, and then plus the yardage, plus potential touchdown. Like you said, him and CJ Beathard or whatever, they're old college roommates. They played college football together.
Right.
So that if there's one Niner that I'm really going to trust, it's going to be Kittle every single week. So you're definitely starting him. This defense though is trash, so you're definitely not starting this day. This day, fans.
And if you have Rams defense,
Down them up, all
Avi.
cylinders.
Hashtag Avi.
Yeah.
Hashtag put him in your lineup.
Yeah. So, all right, jump into the Sunday night game. This one should be a good one. I'm excited to watch this game, actually. You got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are -6. It's a 57 over-under, so it's
Jesus.
it's a lot of points right there.
So many. All these games. Well, except for that Cowboys game.
I mean, I pretty much want every piece I can get in this matchup. The Bengals offense is really good. Their defense is, at middle of the park. The Chiefs offense is fuego, and their defense is trash. Yeah. So this should be, potential shootout. Like we're talking about if you want to go stream a quarterback, Andy Dalton. He's available. He was available in like 40% of leagues, I think it was. So go grab him. This is a good matchup. I know he kind of has like the jitters of like primetime games. He always seems to shit the bed, but the Chiefs can't stop anybody.
Yeah,
they're just terrible. So definitely play Andy Dalton with confidence. Starting Joe Mixon, I'm excited. I got Mixon in a couple leagues. I'm excited for him.
Yeah.
AJ Green, he's balling. Tyler Boyd, he's been balling. So just interesting numbers on Tyler Boyd real quick. The Chiefs, they're the bottom 10. They're bottom 10 in everything. So they're bottom 10 in guarding the slot receivers, and Tyler Boyd lines up in the slot 70% of the time. So, like I said, you're starting everyone on the Bengals. Even CJ, who's your mama? Is that what you guys are calling him? Who's your mama?
Yeah, CJ, who's your mama?
CJ, who's your mama? I'm calling him Big Uzi.
Yeah, Big Uzi. That's cool. You can do that.
Whatever, dude. You guys don't like that.
No, I like it. No, dude. We Yeah, I like it. It's good. It's good, dude. Wow, it's a great nickname.
All right, CJ Uzama or whatever his name is. CJ, who's your mama? Start him. Start this guy.
Yeah. We CJ, put him in your lineup.
Yeah, we posted on the Instagram. Go follow us, by the way. @AverageBros_fantasy_football.
Oh, shameless plug.
Yeah. But Gronk, he's probably going to be out. He didn't travel with the team. If you're scrambling for a tight end, you're on the waiver wire. He's available in like 60 or 70% of leagues. Go grab him because they're the 30th ranked team against tight ends. Like I just said, the Chiefs can't stop anybody. So he was on the field for 90% of the time. He's the main tight end there now. Tyler Kroft's out with a foot injury. Tyler Eifert's dead. So yeah, go grab him. I'm streaming him in 2 leagues. So be confident throwing him in your lineup. Bengals defense, definitely not because you're playing against Mahomes in the squad, and they're just probably going to put up 50 points. So on the Chiefs side of the ball, you're starting everyone. Tyreek Hill, Mahomes, Kareem Hunt. Maybe the only player, Kelsey, the only player you're maybe thinking about is Sammy Watkins, but even then, I mean, how do you feel? You starting Sammy Watkins?
I keep putting him in my lineup and taking him out. Putting him in, taking him out. Mine's really depends. Just it's in a double flex league that I have him in. I'm depending on whether or not Allen Robinson's going to play. He's not officially ruled out yet, is he? No,
not yet.
Okay, so I'm kind of waiting on that. I don't like. I feel like there's got those main guys on there. Kelsey Hill, you got to play him, but Sammy Watkins, I don't know. It's just. I feel like you're good if he gets in the end zone, but I mean it's a high over under, so there's a possibility that he'll be in there, but I'm not that confident in it.
Yeah.
How about you?
I don't have any Sammy Watkins in any leagues, but I mean that offense is high powered. They're at home. It's a primetime Sunday night game. I mean, fuck it, why not? Hook it, chuck it, fuck it.
Football.
Sammy Watkins, flex
Huck it, chuck it. Sammy Watkins.
I mean, like I said, if you're in a double flex league, throw him out there in a flex play. I mean, he's got the talent. So they obviously they went and they traded for him, or they got him, and they paid him a ton of money. So they're going to use him. I feel like they're going to find better ways to get him the ball. there's just a lot of weapons there. I think that's what it is. You know, he's like the third or fourth or fifth in the pecking order type deal. So, but yeah, I feel comfortable throwing him in there.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's jump into this Monday night football game where we got my sleeper of the week.
Sleeper?
This is my sleeper of the week. You got the New York Giants at the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are -4. It's a 53-point over-under. My sleeper of the week, you're going to think I'm fucking batshit crazy. Eli
Manning. Jesus.
Down in syndrome.
Well, I mean, dude, it's Falcons. It's not like... Dude, okay, I said this on something. I don't know when I said it, but there's like there's 5 teams where you feel pretty comfortable playing like a third string wide receiver or whatnot, offensive player. It's the Falcons, the Chiefs, the Bucks, and the Steelers. Who else? There's one other team. Oh, maybe that's it. 4.
The Saints' pass defense is really bad.
Saints. Yeah, Saints pass defense. So there's like those 5 teams you feel good about. So I understand. That's not... it makes sense.
I think people are just like, after watching that
It's just,
Thursday night
you
game.
Hear that sigh? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about putting Eli Manning in my butthole just clenched up too. It just was like clenching right now. I can't.
So,
Eli Manning, dude.
Sleeper of the week. This is my sleeper of the week, and like I said, because he was available in like 90% of leagues. I feel like most people are not going to be starting Eli Manning, especially after the performance he had last week. But just here are some stats. I feel kind of comfortable throwing him out there. Now, like we just said, the Falcons' defense is terrible. They've lost, 3 or 4 starters on the defense. Key starters on the defense. They can't stop anybody. So the Falcons, they've allowed 3 or more passing touchdowns in 5 straight games. So I think Eli can get at least 2 touchdowns. But you're telling me the Falcons, this team's giving up 3 or more touchdowns in 5 straight games. They've also given up the most passing touchdowns in the NFL, the 4th most passing yards, and they allow the most receptions to running backs. What does Eli Manning like to do? He likes to throw it to Shaquan Barkley at the line of scrimmage.
Right.
The Falcons also give the 2nd most receiving yards to the running backs. So he doesn't even necessarily have to have these games where he's chucking the ball down the field. But, I mean, let's throw it to Barkley. I mean, we saw last week what that guy can do when you just give him the ball and in space. So, I mean, you got Barkley. You got Odell. If they can't stop anyone, you got Odell. You got,
you're selling me.
Sterling Shepard.
Dude, you want to? I'll trade you Melvin Gordon for Eli Manning now.
No, check it. Sterling Shepard. The Falcons allow the 4th most points to slot wide receivers. Sterling Shepard lines up in the slot 73% of the time. I'm starting everybody on the Giants. Eli, Shaquan Barkley,
I'm excited
Odell,
for
Sterling
my boy.
Shepard. Evan Ingram's coming back.
Evan Ingram coming back. That's
They've
what
got
I'm
a ton of weapons. If Eli can't get it done this week against this team, then he definitely needs to just go kill himself.
Eli, don't do it.
You heard it here first. Average Bros approved. Go kill yourself, Eli, if you don't get it done. But he will get it done. It's my sleeper of the week right here. With that being said, jump over to the other side of the ball. Because we just said you're starting all those players because they can't guard anyone. The Falcons can't guard anybody. So that being said, they can't guard anyone. You're gonna have to throw the ball a ton. Matt Ryan at home, he plays really good at home. Matt Ryan's. I feel like he's kind of been. Here's the thing with Matt Ryan.
I feel like this game should be a 57 over under.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Matt Ryan. He had that MVP year, and then the next year he came out. Everyone was drafted. It's kind of like the Deshaun Watson thing. Like he balled out one year, and then the next year everyone was drafting him super high. And then the next he came out, and Matt Ryan. He disappointed that year, so everyone's like, "Oh, fuck Matt Ryan." Blah blah blah. He was going to like the 11th or 12th round. Like, do you not remember that a year ago he was the MVP?
Right.
He was the MVP over Tom Brady. He didn't beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, but he's the MVP of the league over Tom Brady. He's got that MVP caliber, and he's got Julio Jones, he's got Mohamed Sanu. Just monitor Sanu and Ridley because they're kind of banged up, but Sanu's there. He's a savvy veteran. Calvin Ridley's rookie who burst onto the scene with those 6 touchdowns in like 2 or 3 games it was. He's got a ton of passing weapons, so yeah, definitely playing Matt Ryan with confidence. Let's kind of just jump into these running backs here because it was breaking news earlier in the week that running back Devontae Foreman was going to be placed on IR with
Devontae
Freeman.
Yeah.
So Freeman, he's on the IR. So that kind of opens the door for Tevin Coleman to take over. And then we're saying go grab Ito Smith. He's available in a ton of leagues. Out of those 2 running backs, I mean, who would you prefer?
I would prefer Tevin Coleman.
Tevin Coleman.
He's just the proven back there.
Yeah.
You just know what you're getting with him. The only reason we said this, someone asked us because we posted about it on Instagram. Go pick up Ito Smith, and they said, well, "What about Tevin Coleman? What's going on with Tevin Coleman?" And it's not that he's injured or anything. It's just that Ito Smith is just more available. I'd be surprised if how available. I don't know what his percentages are at now, but I'd be surprised if he's available still.
Yeah, if Ito Smith is out there, go get him because he's going to be on a high-powered offense where like they're constantly trailing. So I mean, they're going to always be trying to score some points, in shootouts and whatnot. So just some interesting stats, or a stat I came across for Ito Smith is, I agree with you. I think Tevin Coleman's the running back out of the two that you want. But I feel like this could be become a committee. Even back then it was when it was Tevin Coleman and Devonta Freeman, and it was like a 60-40 type split between the two running backs. I think that's what it'll be again. It'll be like a 60-40 split, but Tevin Coleman will get the 60, Ito Smith will get the 40. But yeah, like I said, an interesting stat I came across. Ito Smith has 13 red zone carries, and that's 6 more red zone carries than Tevin Coleman has. Mm-hmm. So, and Ito Smith, he has a rushing touchdown in 3 straight games. So when they get in close, it's looking like they're giving him the ball. I mean,
it's like they're giving him that Devonta Freeman role.
So I would actually be starting both these guys. They're probably like RB2 flex guys for me, low end RB2s. But yeah, if you got these guys, I'm definitely starting both of them. So wide receivers, Julio Jones.
Obviously.
Do you think he's going to get on the board? Touchdown finally. We're in week 7. We're coming on to week 7, and he doesn't have a single touchdown.
So crazy. It's so crazy because he's not nobody's really mad at owning Julio Jones, and he still doesn't have a touchdown.
It just blows my mind. He could have 1,500 yards and 3 touchdowns at the end of the year.
That's crazy.
It's just wild. So for the other receivers, like we said, Sanu and Ridley, just monitor them. Make sure they're actually playing before you throw them into your lineup. But if they're playing, I would feel comfortable playing both these guys, at least as flex guys. Like I said, the Falcons can't stop anybody. I feel like the Giants are going to be able to put up some points. This should be a shootout, like a back and forth type game. Kind of leads to the tight end here, Austin Hooper, the Poopa Scoopa.
But dude, you know what? Drop once I hook this thing up to mix minus, I want to drop the poopity scoop, just scoopity poop in there. But Austin Hooper, that's fine playing him again. I am not an Austin Hooper fan. I don't think he's a stud tight end like Vance McDonald or some. You know what I mean? I don't look at him as one of those tight ends, but in this matchup, I like it.
Yeah. So let's say you had Gronk. He's probably not going to play, and Hooper's on the waiver wire. Yeah. He's the best available. You feel comfortable grabbing and throwing him there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure what the stats are, but I think he has I think it's back-to-back weeks. He has 9 receptions and 70-plus receiving yards in back-to-back weeks. So, use him for sure. He's a big-bodied red zone target. Like I said, this should be a shootout. It's a high over-under. I would definitely feel confident starting Hooper.
Yeah, I wouldn't play either one of these defenses.
Neither one of these defenses.
Not Falcons defense, not Giants defense.
Neither.
No.
So, all right, we'll come back. Hopefully.
Wait, I just want to go over a couple things, just because there's so much stuff that just happened in the news.
For sure.
So it's with Gronk being out, what I feel like a lot of people who have Gronk probably don't have a backup tight end. Who are some guys that you would be looking to get with this situation? So I was lucky enough. I have Gronk in the league, and I have OJ Howard as my backup, so it was an easy slide in.
Yeah, OJ Howard. I was looking at some research. OJ Howard, he's available in 65% of leagues. I would definitely go grab him. And David Njoku, he's a guy I've been talking about a lot lately. He's available in 20% of leagues. I know it's highly unlikely that he's available, but if he's there, I would for sure go get him. He needs to just be rostered, period.
By the way, we don't know for sure that Gronk is out, but he didn't fly to where they're fucking playing, and the game's in
time's are ticking away.
Yeah, so we're just assuming that he's.
Usually if a player doesn't fly with the team to the opposing city, that player's not gonna play.
Unless he takes the Gronkcopter. Yeah. Something like he has his own helicopter.
The Gronkmobile. He just fucking.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyways.
But yeah, he's probably not gonna play. So yeah, You got Njoku 20% available. Like you said, OJ Howard 65% available. We're just talking about Big Uzi, CJ Who's Your Mama, whatever. So he's available in 70% of leagues. So some stats on him I kind of forgot to go over. But last week he had 7 targets, good for 6 receptions on 54 yards. The Chiefs, they've allowed an average of 90 receiving yards per game to the tight end. And that's the third most. They allow the third most points to tight ends. So, I mean, they're averaging giving up 90 receiving yards to the tight end position. That's what they average every week, 90 yards to the tight end every position. So, I mean, even if he only gets, half of that or whatever, it's still 45 yards, a couple catches here and there, Andy Dalton likes to use the tight end in the red zone. He'd probably be the one who's most available, him and OJ Howard, and I'd probably go get them. If I was going to grab one of the two, OJ Howard, rest of season wise, but for the week, I think Big Uzi.
For stream of the week,
Stream of the week. I think
agree.
I think he's got a really good offense. Like we said, the Chiefs, they can't stop anybody. So,
okay.
those would be some guys.
Another thing I wanted to go over is Carlos Hyde traded to Jacksonville. What are you doing in that situation? Are you going to try and trade him? Are you going to what are you going to do with him?
I mean, I'm not sure what value you can get for him right now because. I mean, he's traded. I mean, what are you going to get for him? I don't know. I mean, I guess if I could try to trade him, if I could trade a Carlos Hyde and try to get, I don't know, like maybe an Ito Smith or something like that, potentially, or
because
if you're in PPR league, like a Chris Thompson, maybe. Like I don't know.
See, for me, I might wait it out and see what's going on. I just can't. I can't put my It seems as though it doesn't look good for Leonard Fournette. It seems like he's going to be out the rest of the season. So with knowing that, or thinking that, based on that, are you going to? I might just wait it out.
Yeah, I think that's a good approach. You just
wait it out, see how he's used. I don't think they're not going to use him because obviously they just traded for him. They gave him a 5th round pick for it.
Yeah,
for him. So I'll just wait it out and see what happens.
I agree 100% with you. This makes me super nervous for Fournette.
Yeah.
Because it's like if like he's rehab and you're thinking like, okay, bro, like he'll be back in like 3 weeks.
Would you trade Fournette right now, knowing that?
I just don't like. What are you gonna get for him?
Well, you might. My thinking is that you could I don't have Fournette in any leagues, but a lot of people do.
Help me, because I have him in 2 leagues.
I would help me. I would try and trade him to some sorry ass that doesn't pay attention. If somebody's not paying attention and didn't see Carlos Hyde or is not aware of this stuff, and try and get I don't know, you got to be ahead of it because once that goes out, that's going to be in everybody's group chats. Everybody's gonna know that Leonard Fournette is out for the rest of the season. If you trade before, technically everybody knows. I mean, dude, look, when it comes down to it, Leonard Fournette hasn't been doing shit all year. He's been in and out. It's frustrating to own him, and you want to get that burden off of you anyways. You've thought about trading him anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would, if I had Fournette, I would be trying to fucking trade him right now. I would trade him for 2 RB2s or like a RB2 and a flex or something like that.
Yeah. It's just tough. Like this. Yeah, this backfield's super messy now because you don't know what's up with Fournette. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if, Monday day, we get an alert. Fournette's out for the year. Because, Hyde's there. They brought him in. He's not going to play this week because they don't have a game script for him. He doesn't know any plays. I highly doubt he plays this game. Not even a single snap.
Yeah. So
you got Yeldon there. I don't know what it is with Yeldon. He looks good. He doesn't look great, but he looks good enough. Maybe they just don't trust him with a full workload. They went and they got Jamal Charles. I think he's kind of just some veteran depth to have there because, Yeldon was kind of banged up. Corey Grant's on IR. Fournette's hammy is fucked up. This backfield is just messy, dude. Yeah. So I have Fournette and Yeldon in both the leagues that I have Fournette in.
See, then that goes.
So maybe I could trade both of them and say, hey, I'm giving you. That way, if Fournette's out, you still got Yeldon. Maybe it'll make them feel better. Like, oh, I have his handcuff at least, and then maybe I can get I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't even know what I can get.
I'd be trying to trade Leonard Fournette. Is my point.
Yeah.
And then obviously Nick Chubb, and that makes Nick Chubb and Duke Johnson pretty saucy. Hopefully, you guys were able to pick them up.
Yeah. I think both those guys are going to have some value going forward.
Yeah. Who would you rather have?
Chubb's probably going to get all the volume, in my opinion. He'll probably going to get 15 to 20 touches, goal line carry. But I think this kind of opens the door for Duke Johnson to see more of that passing role work, which he excelled in. Yeah, which he excelled in last year. I kind of said in the last podcast, and in the 3 games that Mayfield's there, he already has 2 games where he's registered 4 receptions. One of those games they had a dud, but 2 of those 3 games he's had 4 receptions in. So I think he's gonna turn into that PPR guy where he kind of has that safe floor. A couple receptions. He'll probably see anywhere from like 5 to 8 carries a game, maybe. But yeah, Chubb's probably gonna be the guy who gets the lion's share of the carries, all the goal line work and whatnot. So, but I think the best way I described it, it's like a poor man's Saints backfield. You got the Thunder and Lightning, you got the Kamara and the Ingram, you got the Chubb and the Duke Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would definitely go grab both these guys. They both need to be rostered in every league. I would probably lean not Kamara. I'd probably lean Duke Johnson in PPR wise, but like standard or even half PPR, I'd probably go Chubb.
Yeah.
So
I agree. That's all I was just curious about. It's a couple of those things that happened.
100%, yeah.
Jalen Richard, or what do you think about Doug Martin?
Jalen Richard. That one we're gonna have to see how it pans out. Like I said,
no idea.
Yeah, like we said, Lynch could be out for the year. He could be out for 3 to 4 weeks.
It's a month.
You don't know. Yeah, so you got to pay attention to that one. He's for sure probably gonna miss a couple games. So I think Jalen Richard would be the one I would want. Because me and Anthony kind of touched on it. That Raiders defense, that was the defense that's really bad. The Raiders defense, they're just giving it up. So they're always behind. And Derek Carr's captain check down. Everything's within 5 yards of the scrimmage. It's probably I think it's like 50 or 60% of his passes are within 5 yards of the scrimmage. Probably more, probably like 70%. And Jalen Richard's getting it. So I think the stat was in 4 of the 6 games that Jalen Richard's played, he has 6 or more receptions in 4 of the 6 games he's played. So it's a pretty safe floor PPR wise. He'd be the guy he'd be the guy, not Doug Martin. I mean, Doug Martin's he's just a guy.
He's just dead.
Yeah,
is he a guy?
He's just a guy. I don't even know if he is a guy, but he's just a guy. Jalen Richard's he's a smaller back, but he's like a short, stockier kind of back. So, I think he could take the workload of, running through the tackles. He's not like a smaller guy like a Naheem Hines or a Sproles where, you can't take that abuse, or Chris Thompson. You can't really take that abuse through the tackles. Jalen Richard can go out there and he can get you, 10 to 15 rushes and a couple receptions. So, and Doug Martin has, 0 upside on the receiving game. So Richard would be the guy who I would want.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything else you want to touch on?
Not that I can think of.
Oh, did you hear that they changed that rush to a passing touchdown? No? Oh, wait, you still beat me on that bullshit Aaron Rodgers
I
pass?
did. You know why? Because the NFL fucking loves me. NFL loves me. All right. Thanks for listening. Check us out on Instagram, @AverageBros_fantasy football, Twitter, @AverageBrosFFP. Go rate us on iTunes. We're on Stitcher. We're now on Spotify. Woo, we sold our soul to the devil, which is Spotify.
Wait, where?
We're going to hell now, dude.
Did we get bitches and money?
Both. All 3.
I don't remember signing this. I'm backing out. Wait, do I get a fantasy championship?
Yeah.
In all my leagues?
Yep.
Where do I sign?
What else? We're on YouTube, full video format. Check that freaking stuff out, baby.
Good luck this week. Shoot us some questions.
Yeah, shoot us some
Keep
questions.
Keep an eye on it. Oh, one more thing. The Melvin Gordon thing.
Right.
It popped up, questionable. His hamstring. He's a game time decision. You got to keep an eye on this because the game plays at 6:30 in the morning for Pacific time. So set your alarm. I mean, for 6 o'clock, 5:30. You'll have a better understanding around 6 o'clock. 30 minutes before the game, whether he's in or out. If Austin Eckler's there, I would go grab him 100% as a handcuff. Yeah. I mean, you just grab him anyways. But if he's there, for sure, go grab him. If Melvin Gordon's out, feel comfortable throwing Eckler into your lineup. He'll produce solid numbers for you.
Definitely.
Breaking news.
Melvin Gordon's a pussy. He's on the sideline. Yeah, it really fucks me this week. But anyways, thank you for listening.
Deuces.
Goodbye.